Welcome back, all you beautiful gamers, to the Esports Rewind podcast. A huge shout out to all of you guys who are leaving comments. We do hope you guys all enjoy. And do you want to read the comments as we typically start out here? I got mine very briefly. Thank you for all the great feedback on the last one, guys. This one coming from Cronux says, what kind of Wa and Ka do you drink? It was actually any medium roast, dark roast, any coffee whatsoever. There's not one in particular. Here in the office, we bounce around.
Yeah, but light roast is maximum caffeine.
I really don't care what roast it is. I'll drink whatever coffee and water we got.
Okay, fair enough.
What do you got?
Mine is actually right above that. I'm not going to say his name. It starts with an N and then gaming. I just don't want to mispronounce it. And it says, was this live? You guys should do these live, which is something I've brought up so many times. But of course, I'm going to bring it up just to, prod the bear a little bit.
Yeah, that's not currently possible because we do have edits and we can't do those edits live. So it makes it weird. And we kind of like having the podcast as a whole, as its separate thing. Something we've thought about, live shows hopefully coming in the future. But as per usual, it's been a crazy week here. So Esports Rewind is here to break it down. Ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Hope you all enjoy the stories. All right, my first one was not justifiable enough for the gaming/esports news, that being a CEO of 100 Thieves. Nadeshot, always in the news, this time around for something he unboxed in a personal video, that being the Lil Nas X, what people are calling, I'm not sure the official name, they're called Satan shoes. I think we need to preface this episode, preference? We need to...
Preface.
This is going to be a great episode,
right,
man.
Already going well.
We need to preface this episode by saying, we don't have too many opinions on this. It was Nadeshot who posted the video, made it very clear he didn't want to step on any toes. He was just sent the shoes to unbox and review, to which those shoes, by the way, have now caused a Nike lawsuit. I believe all resales of these shoes have now been put on hold. There's a pentagram on the shoe. It's pretty much, it's not an official Nike shoe, but it's very Satan-based, supposedly a drop of blood, whether that be real or fake. Like I said, a pentagram, other things to make them Lil Nas, Lil Devil shoes.
Right, which is hilarious to a degree that Nadeshot was the one, I just knowing, not knowing Nadeshot, I know Nadeshot, but knowing 100 Thieves and how intense they are with their branding and how purposeful they are, I bet he was so nervous. He has to unbox this thing that has a lawsuit with Nike. And he's doesn't want to step on any brand's toes here. He's what if we could work with, this brand in the future? I don't know.
Yeah, he's definitely probably thinking about that. Also while saying hey, I've just unboxed a lot of things in the past. I'm not religious, I think he did a decent job, but you check out the video, just still flooded with dislikes. But I think the topic itself is controversial. I don't think we have opinions on it because I just see it as a shoe. It's definitely a controversial shoe with some weird backgrounds. When it comes time for Nadeshot receiving hate just for unboxing it and reviewing it, I will say one thing. If it was TSM Reginald unboxing a shoe, he probably would get a bunch of hate. That's just kind of how the fingers are pointed nowadays. Right. I don't see a huge issue with it. I just find it kind of funny with all the crazy stuff going on this week. That was a topic that Nadeshot's kind of receiving a lot of flack for unboxing some shoes.
I think the only thing I'll say about the shoes is that they I don't understand what they thought was going to happen, taking Nike shoes, making your own version of that Nike shoe, and then selling it for thousands of dollars as your own product. Is man, you're kind of if you didn't get direct permission from Nike to do that, you're kind of just asking for a lawsuit at that point.
You're definitely prodding the bear.
Right. And not a bear you want to prod, I would say. You don't want Nike lawyers coming after you. And so, I don't know. Who knows? If it might have been worth it, though. The amount of press that, Lil Nas got from this. He was on all the main, mainstream news channels for this. Yeah. And so, that's probably worked better than any kind of marketing, plan that you could have had.
Which is weird because, what if that was likely a part of the plan all along? And then you think about now the resale value of the shoes, it's probably going to skyrocket as well. So we'll see what Nadeshot does with his pair. A bit under fire. What did you guys think about it? The rest of today's stories, though, they're going to be more esports and gaming based. And speaking of Nadeshot, speaking of Call of Duty League has been a whirlwind to cover. Toronto Ultra certainly been a whirlwind of a team to cover. They were in the news this past week because it was one of their pro players, that being Cammy, for saying the hard C word in a tweet a few nights back. By the point of this going up, it's now been last week. He said the hard C word, which here in America is certainly not a term you hear very often, but elsewhere in the world, it is kind of a common phrase and does not have the same offensive meaning or weight that it holds in other areas of the world, to which Toronto Ultra has now responded and will be sentencing him, not like prison, but he will be undergoing sensitivity training, and along with that, giving a donation to a local shelter, to which tons of Call of Duty pros and figures out there responding like, what has this sensitive culture become?
Yeah, maybe I'm just ignorant to things, but like I had no idea before this that like the hard C word was like a thing, you know?
Oh, I did.
Like I knew people didn't like the word, and I know that it's like controversial just in the fact that like it is a gender-based insult. But again, like you said, I feel like I'm so aware of other cultures and like the cultures overseas maybe who use that word frequently that I didn't think it was like a really intense like problem like we're seeing from this. And so crazy that this cancel culture came after him just for saying that, I would say. And I know it's not a great word here, but still, it's like a lot of people, I think the general feeling was like, really? Like for that?
And I think the context certainly matters. He didn't use it towards someone. He didn't use it towards a woman. He did not use it in a derogatory manner. He used it in a casual way that you would in like a friendly conversation, but it was just in a tweet. Unfortunately, so Toronto has now responded, and yeah, a lot of backlash around it. I think the main thing was people did not expect this severe of a punishment for this kind of language coming from a Scottish pro player. And so with the fact that he said this and he wasn't just warned or wasn't just told to delete it and hold himself responsible publicly, he was given sensitivity training and was like, hey, you got to donate to a local shelter. I think people had a problem with the severity of the punishment, especially because that's a part of his common language, which he does not see as offensive. So we'll see what comes of it. You know, nothing too crazy out there, but Toronto Ultra certainly under flack for a lot of recent circumstances in the Call of Duty League, and this was one of them. An unfortunate news out there from the Twitch space, something you covered in a video and I think did a really good job about a very unfortunate circumstance. These are ongoing allegations of something caught live on Twitch stream, and it's been a prevalent problem on the Twitch stream platform, something we've continued to talk about in some lighter stories like Cloud9 Mango this past week, but unfortunate circumstance as well with a streamer who was supposedly or accused of being caught abusing his partner on stream.
A lot of reactions overall to this. We posted it on April Fool's, which I guess could have been taken wrong because a lot of people didn't realize if it was real or not, which it was very real in a very serious situation. So it was kind of frustrating, I guess, to read those things because it's like, no, this is real. Like she's actually going through this. But yes, we had Smash God and her having a bit of an interaction. Looked like they were probably intoxicated a little bit. And then she, you know, does like a kind of a hit at him. She like swings his like candy bag at him. And then he moves the camera. They have a disagreement and you hear a loud noise, which sounds like some sort of hit or something like that. And so it was just hard to watch overall. That's really all I can say about it is because it kept going and she looked visibly uncomfortable. He tried to make her hug him, and it was just bad.
It was an overall it was like you said in the video, it was kind of just tough to watch. But it's weird because to get the full context of the clips, you have to watch all the clips, which can be very difficult to do. And along with that, you think about former cases because Twitch has now responded, right? He's now been banned.
Yeah.
And so you wonder what they saw that was so conclusive because to your point, he moves the camera. Now, it's kind of weird that you move the camera and then you hear that sound. It makes people jump to a lot of speculation on the topic. But we've seen this before with someone like Mr. Deadmoth from the Fortnite space. This is now years ago. And it has to be said because these cases are so serious. And this one is a very unfortunate circumstance. And it's sucky to have to see, but with Mr. Deadmoth case, you just never really know it maybe takes until a later date to find out full context, where in that case, both partners were actually found guilty of some abuse going on. Where at first it was actually him who was blatantly accused, and then people found out the full story that it went both ways, which in that case was just very, very saddening for the child involved. So I don't know. It's tough to have to cover these things, but I think it does shed a better light as to what goes on in some people's lives.
It's crazy to me that it was on stream, though. I think like the fact that people have I don't want to say audacity, but like maybe the lack of foresight of like having that sort of thing going on a live stream and not realizing the potential repercussions of it, like whether or not it actually happened or not, like those are things I feel like you should be aware of if you're putting that out to the public world. And now he's been banned, said he's going to appeal the ban, and is having a lot of people, like try to reach out for him and stuff like that. But it's also tricky because I cover this in the video, but he's been on Judge Judy before for other allegations of streaming people without their consent and stuff like that. So he has a bit of history, and he was on a big TV show. And so part of you has to wonder, like, was this all just some sort of thing? Is this kind of his shtick where he does these controversial acts and then gets publicity from it, which makes me kind of like not want to cover it, to a degree. But at the same time, we have to, because it's important to call out that kind of behavior.
Yeah, certainly it's a very, very tricky situation to try and oversee. And so hopefully in the future we'll have updates for all of you guys on his ban, which Twitch did hand out. And hopefully we'll find out the details as to exactly why they did that. And next up on the list is going to be a frequented debate because we involve some big names out there with some big games. We got Shroud, we got s1mple, we got CSGO and Valorant. The latest question out there, would s1mple switch? It's actually a recent clip now surfacing from one of s1mple's streams where he was asked, would he switch from CSGO to Valorant? To which he says, if he was Astralis with 4 majors, he would think about it. But as of right now, he does not have a major, so he's going to be sticking with CSGO, which leads a lot of people to wonder, if he does get that first major, is it time to go to a brand new FPS?
Yeah, it'll be weird to see when big names like s1mple end up switching over, because
Whoa. End up? Come on, man.
I'm just saying
CS
it's going to
forever.
happen. It's going to happen. And so I'm curious when in the timeline it's going to happen, because that's going to affect so much, because when the big names do it, so will most everyone else, I feel like.
Yeah, and then Shroud came out in a recent stream to talk about this. It was kind of misconstrued, saying like people thought that Shroud said that s1mple should switch, when he really just talked about if s1mple were to switch. The money that could be made if other figures are to do the same, to which, a lot of responses out there. Currently right now, the tippity top of CS players are making some pretty exorbitant salaries. They are pretty high. So I think it will take some time for Valorant salaries on average to compete with the tippity top of the CS salaries. Right. But yeah, to Shroud's point, that could be an eventual thing. My main point is, to what you said, if s1mple does get that major and he sees Valorant as the more long-term, better, and more successful FPS, why would he not switch? If you can achieve the major in CSGO, like that is the best you can do. And if you just get one and you're still kind of revered as one of the best all time, why not make the switch and try and do it in a new game? If you really want to be like a notorious, he's already going to be going down in CSGO history, esports history, but why not do it in 2 FPS titles if it's a possibility?
And I bet if he were to win that major, then he could, ask for a bigger paycheck maybe from a Valorant signing, right? Just say, hey, this game's similar, we all know that, and now I've got a major. Go up a little bit.
He's already nasty. He already has an incredible buyout. So I think it also comes from, and again, this is all speculation. It's just fun talk. I think he'll be in CSGO for the, probably at least a couple years, and who knows when majors are going to officially come back if it does happen in 2021. But that's also maybe a discussion that Navi has, right? What if Navi wins a CSGO major and they have s1mple, they own him, he's under contract and under buyout? What if they're like, hey, just go lead our Valorant squad, right? You stay under the Navi banner and we become one of the more popular also Valorant brands. There's just almost too many open-ended questions right now, but it's always fun to talk about, and it's really fun to talk about when Shroud comes in and says that a lot of these CS players can make more than they ever have in CS in a brand new game. So we'll see what s1mple chooses to do. I think he would succeed whatever game he does choose, but for the near and hopefully prolonged future, I think it's going to be Counter-Strike for s1mple. Another one out there that I was really, really excited about was the return of the beef between Nickmercs and Huskerrs. We got a top earner, we got a top streamer, both in Call of Duty and both in Warzone, and they just kind of keep on subtly going back and forth at each other, which I really enjoy. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's the beef and banter that just never ends. It just keeps going, and we just keep getting content out of it, so of course we're going to love it, right? Like, just seeing them go back and forth is enjoyable, I would say, from the outside. Like, what was it, Nickmercs killing him in Superstore or something like that, that people were like freaking out about?
If you guys missed it, we actually broke this down 2 or 3 months ago when it kind of resurfaced from last summer of Huskerrs calling Nickmercs a man baby. They go back and forth we have like a couple of videos on that. I can't really describe the full timeline, kind of resurfacing where, yes, there was a Nickmercs killing Huskerrs moment.
What the heck, dude?
Nickmercs.
Oh my god, it's actually f***ing them, I think.
Welcome to the Gulag.
Is that why Superstore's a f***ing shit show? Right
Did he have
this
Daddy
makes
on?
total sense.
He did have Daddy on. F***ing pussy, dude.
It is an absolute shit show right now.
Huskerrs calls him an effing pansy. Didn't use those words exactly. Can't use the words that he did use. Nickmercs then fires back on his tier list where he just left Huskerrs out, saying he wasn't competitive enough to even make the list.
Where's Huskerrs at? He ain't. But the boys didn't put him on the list. Damn, he didn't make the cut, man. That's crazy. Maybe he's just not good enough to even be considered, you know?
It's all about humanity.
I think maybe if he would have at least hit me once in that fight we had in Super the other day, I think maybe we would have put him on the list, but he didn't even touch me, so I don't know, you know? I think at least these guys might stand a chance.
And then you think back to one of the initial disses that Huskerrs had on Nickmercs was on Aiden's tier list, where he was just complaining about how high Aiden put Nickmercs because he's a big name. So it's like, it's childish, but it's entertaining. And I don't think you and me take it to the serious point, but I do kind of understand the side effects of, like, especially for a guy like Huskerrs, when you mess with a Nickmercs level audience.
Yeah, infam.
I mean, you're going to have a lot of people going after you for things that, like, let's just all enjoy the fact that we have very popular figures and names kind of going back and forth. Like, it's entertaining from that aspect.
And it seems to a degree, I would say, innocent, as in neither one is really like so seriously attacking the other person and like actually wanting them like off of their platform or whatever. Like, no one is like trying to hurt the other person. They're just like insulting each other and like insulting each other's like gaming ability and stuff like that.
Yeah, like when you think about maybe things that kind of took it a bit too far, when you think about like the XQC versus Ninja where Jessica got involved, or Tifu versus Ninja, and again, those were entertaining because those are figures that both have giant audiences, but certainly some stems of those arguments went a little too far. Like Tifu was adding Jessica on Instagram, or the XQC Jessica stuff, if you guys remember, that went back and forth about sexism, I believe.
Yeah.
So it brought in topics that were just they weren't innocent, right? It got to a point where the arguing was very, very serious and there was a lot of bitterness. For now, it seems that Huskerrs and Mercs are very well aware that, you know, it's a little fun. Don't take it too seriously. And the audience hopefully thinks the same way. But hey, a refueling of that beef, we will see if it does continue further. This is probably something you're going to cover in the future because you love Twitch streamers.
I love them
and you
so
love
much.
those Twitch stories, man. The more so, some might say controversial ones. If y'all missed it, it was actually Cloud9 member Mango having a heck of a stream. He actually calls out, I would say the focus of this one, he calls out Twitch and the hot tub streamers, the hot tub meta that's been kind of, I would say, taking over. Definitely at a high point compared to where it's ever been before. If you guys missed it as well, Mango on stream was a bit intoxicated, so he took an anime statue and was air humping. Can I say those words? He was air humping it, received a 3-day Twitch ban for sexual content, then goes later on Twitter to call out the hot tub streams, the stripper pole streams, the stretching streams. He calls it a lot.
Yeah, I feel like we talk about this every week almost, of like the like Twitch double standards almost, of like things that are being allowed on Twitch consistently, but then other things that are getting banned, or people getting banned for things that maybe some people don't think they should have, or they get bans for longer than other people did, or indefinite bans and no response from Twitch. You know, like all these things that are going on that Twitch just isn't being very clear about what is allowed. And so, yeah, to see a fully clothed but intoxicated man air humping the bottom of a statue, like it wasn't even like,
Okay.
if you saw the clip.
I love how your argument is like, it was the base of...
I'm just saying he wasn't even like, I don't know. It was just weird. It was.
He wasn't even realistically humping the statue where you're supposed to.
If he was going to do it, it would have been different, okay? But, like, fully clothed, not showing anything. And then we have other streams that are very close to not clothed at all, or some that just aren't, we've seen in the past, where they receive the same length ban as him. A 3-day ban for that, or a 3-day ban for showing your butt. You know?
It's really funny because there are clips that we have shown on YouTube. Like, we can show the Mango clip. We can't show clips of other streams that we've seen on Twitch. So it is, and obviously different platforms, right? Different mediums. But it is weird to know that, like, we can show that Mango clip all day long. Twitch is like, no, you're going to get a ban. there's other streams on Twitch we can't show here on YouTube.
Right, it'll get
where Twitch
taken
is like,
off for sexual content, you know?
yeah,
Like,
so it is weird how these platforms operate. I don't think anyone is questioning that Twitch has had certainly some subjective bans out there. When you mess with Mango, though, and yeah, it was a weird thing to hump the statue, but there's no way in his mind was he like, this will be a 3-day ban. We've certainly seen a lot worse out there not get punishments, and we've also seen some lighter things still get punishments. So the Twitch battle does continue, and the latest victim of that was Cloud9 Mango. As per usual, we hope you guys all enjoy the Esports Rewind. Just want to thank all of you guys for sticking with us. It's been a heck of a week. We announced our first ever energy drink sponsor with Rogue, so super thankful for all of you guys out there. It just a lot of stuff going on, and it's been hectic, so we really do appreciate all the nice comments out there, all of you guys and gals sticking around and supporting. You want to see these folks at the door?
Yeah.
Esports Talk on social media, hit us up. Esports Talk News on social media outlets. Sorry.
No, you're good. Hey, I love you guys. Jake likes you guys. We're so glad you're watching.
Love's a really strong word.
Until next time.
We're getting there. We'll see. Okay. Love you. Bye.